Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel where we share with you the most amazing stories from around the world. Once upon a time in a village situated at the foot of some shepherds lived a poor man. He had a small flock of sheep, but it was his only wealth. One day a terrible plague struck the flock, and one by one all the sheep started dying. The shepherd tried everything he could to save them, but nothing worked. Finally, only one lamb remained alive. The shepherd was so distraught that he decided to take his last sheep to the hills and abandon it there, saying, "You were born to die, so go and die on those hills." And so the shepherd left. From that day onwards, the shepherd didn't go out of his hut except to relieve himself of his natural calls. He grew gaunt and haggard. His eyes, once sparkling with life, now looked like to dead embers in their sockets. His clothes, once a source of pride, now hung in rags on his emaciated frame. He spent his days staring listlessly into the distance and his nights tossing and turning in his bed, haunted by visions of his dead sheep. The once proud shepherd was now a shadow of his former self, consumed by misery and despair. All he had left was the one sheep that he had left on the hills, and that too he would never see again. Then one day, after about a month, the shepherd went up to the hills to get some herbs to make himself some tea. He hadn't washed himself or changed his clothes in all this time, and he was beginning to stink like a wild animal. As he reached the top of the hill, he saw the one sheep from afar. It was standing on a rock and seemed to be looking at him. When the shepherd got closer, he realized that the lamb had grown bigger and healthier than before. It was also limping, and when it turned around, he saw that one of its legs was caught in a hunter's snare. Quickly, he untied the snare and freed the lamb, and the two of them returned to the village together. In the evenings, the shepherd would sit by the fire and watch the lamb play, and he began to feel a sense of purpose in his life again. Then one day, while shearing the lamb, the shepherd noticed that its wool was unlike any he had ever seen before. It was incredibly soft and lustrous, and the fleece was almost white. He took the wool to the village and showed it to the people. They were amazed by its quality and told him to take it to the king, who would surely buy it for a handsome price. The shepherd did as he was told, and when the king saw the wool, he was indeed very impressed. He asked the shepherd if he had any more wool like that, and the shepherd said that he did, but only enough to make a small blanket. The king immediately bought the wool and paid the shepherd a huge amount of money for it. And that is not all. The king was so pleased with the shepherdess wool that he gave him a noble title and made him in charge of all the wool production in the kingdom. Overnight, the shepherd went from being a pauper to being a man of means, and all because of one sheep that was destined to die. Had he not taken the lamb to the hills and abandoned it, it would have died along with the rest of the flock. But now, because of the lamb's survival, the shepherd was more successful than he had ever dreamed of being. So friends, sometimes survival itself carries the seed of abundance. You just have to stay alive to see it happen. Subscribe to our channel, A World of Wonderful Stories. And like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your loved ones. We appreciate your support and hope you continue to tune in for more amazing content. Thank you and goodbye.